All right, everybody, this is warning to all politicians. I'm running for president in 2024. This will be part 33. And I was looking at some of the other ones I did about cashless society. I think I screwed up the sequencing of them. One said 31, then it said 32A and 32B. So I think one of them should have been like 32 and then 32A. But I'll straighten that stuff out later. I'll go in and edit it. But anyway, it's all there for you to look at. But following up with that too, I put on there, you'd have all these accounts and everything for charity. And previous ones I said about, private individuals, just like they contribute to colleges, could contribute to, they grew up and went to PS, whatever, they could contribute to that school. Well, the same thing with college loans, student loans. You could start making, because given to college funds and stuff like that, you can get the deduction for that. But if certain individuals, if you just wanted to give to this kid or that kid or something, all these, well-to-do people, you can make that also tax deductible, and you'd put some kind of restriction on it, because you're not going to have like rich guys, millionaires. Hey, Bob, you pay for my kid's tuition and I'll pay for yours, and we'll both write it off, whatever, like that. So I still think people are able to, should pull their own weight. But you'd be able to help a lot of people out who have tuitions, the wealthy, instead of taxing them, raising taxes on them. Give them more ways to help the community and invest in the community and in the country, and go about it that way. Because I'm a firm believer more in charitable contributions and people helping people than I am bureaucracies. So I wanted to do this real quick and add to that segment about cashless society, that you would have those things. And then on the corporate end, all these things will be fine-tuned. I'm just putting the ideas out there. On the corporate end, like I'd expect, they'll have like the same kind of thing. And I'm a firm believer they need to have an emergency fund, and be responsible for some of the jams they get themselves into, and not expect bailouts from the taxpayer all the time. And I've talked about money before, and you got to understand it has to circulate, and it's like a closed system or a circuit. And so you raise taxes really high on corporations and people and stuff and everything, it's just going to trickle down to you, and you're going to pay more for stuff at the store and stuff. And that's like sales taxes. All right, you're supposed to have a say in like your state about tax rates and things like this. That they're supposed to call legislation if they want to raise tax. They're supposed to go over everything, and they're supposed to have open forums where you can go and speak your mind and speak to your legislature and all this. But like sales tax, if there's inflation and the price of goods go up, all sales tax is percentage based. So whenever the price of something goes up, you're paying more in sales tax. Now, most people don't pay attention to sales tax, but you go to the mall or something like that and spend a good day at the mall, add up all the tax you spend on goods and food and stuff like that and everything, you probably spend a good $10 in taxes, and then add in what you spend the rest of the week and everything. You can be spending $50 a week in taxes. Sales tax is easy. And then anytime the price of goods go up, the state gets a boost in income without ever asking you. You understand? And so I think sales taxes you got to get rid of. You look at states like Florida and Nevada and stuff, tourist states. They want a high sales tax because they want to get all the people that don't live there. They want to get all that revenue. They provide services, and all this is how they look at it. And then you look at a state like Nevada, doesn't have a large population. They got a lot of tourism though, for Vegas. So they want to tax the hell out of them there. So But Florida has a large population, but so they got the sales tax and no income tax, state income tax, because it's a retirement state. They want all the rich, wealthy people who come down to retire and enjoy the ocean and everything like that. That's why Palm Beach and everything is built the way it is. And you have so many rich people who retire in Florida. There's no state income tax, and who live in Florida, or at least have their winter homes down here and stuff. So there's a lot that you have to go over, and a lot of that you'll have to hammer out in your state legislatures with your representatives, and come up with the best equitable ways to do things. Each state is different. You have to figure that stuff out. But myself, I think sales taxes are unjust and unfair, because they've already taxed you on your income. Now they're going to tax you on what you spend, and then they get income without ever asking for a raise. Sometimes they do. They might want to go from 5 to 6% or something like that. Usually you'll see stuff like that, like I said before in my other videos, to pay for a stadium or something. They won't rebuild the neighborhoods and stuff, but they'll pay for stadiums and other stuff. So there's a lot of these types of things that'll have to be hammered out. And I also wanted to point out my ideas about driver's license and voter registration. There's a lot of stuff has been about like having a one card and this and that. Some people might not want everything on one. They might want to break it up, this and that. And then the other things that would be hard to implement is like the chips and guns and stuff. But like if you look at that Vegas shooter, if all those guns had some kind of chip in them, maybe he wouldn't have been able to bring them in that hotel. So, and I know, yes, criminals will find a way and this and that. And then there's all the old guns. I'm just throwing ideas out there about, we got to do something. We can't just both sides be, whether it's voter registration, IDs, or things to make it harder for criminals to use firearms. We all just can't be like, no way, we're not budging on anything. We can't. We got to do something. So NRA, what's your ideas? I already know, you want harder penalties for those who use guns committing a crime, and I agree with that. But what can we do to make it harder for them to get firearms to begin with? Guns are for citizens. Prove you're a citizen. Shut some of the loopholes at the gun shows so that not just anybody can buy them. Where are these criminals getting them from? Somebody's buying them somewhere legally. I know a lot of them are stolen, but somewhere there's a gun dealer who is operating outside the bounds and selling guns on the street, or there's a person who's going and buying them and then reselling them on the street, and nobody's tracking that stuff down. So there are things we need to do to make it harder for them to get firearms to be used in crime. So these are things we need to go over. So I wanted to throw that bit out there, and then I'm still going to do the ones later about rebuilding America and cow farts, which will be environmental issues that and arguments that you probably never heard before. So let it go at that on this one here, and we'll talk at you next time. Wish you all the best out there. Good luck. God bless.